Thank you for the organisers and all for you for showing up today. I had a speech prepared, I ain't gonna lie, but to be fair, the way I've been speaking to people is straight from the heart. There's no structure, there's nothing prepared, it's literally what's coming from my mind. So if you do agree with me, please show a bit of love as well, yeah? I'm from Handsworth, I'm a local boy, 28 years old, so represent if any from Handsworth. Okay, in the last couple of weeks, the elections have been going on, and I've met so many people that are talking about the elections, and there's been good debates and there've been bad debates. But the argument is, they don't have no justification for the argument. And my argument is, if you have a justified argument, it makes sense. If you've got the facts, then let's talk. I've dealt with, in my line of work, I get to meet people that are millionaires, that have, more money than sense, to people who are struggling for the second meal. And I've been brought up by my parents, my mom's here, to build up to treat the CEO of the company the same as the cleaner of the company. But without the cleaner, there ain't no CEO, there ain't no money, there ain't no nothing else. As a British Sikh, and I'm going to say as a Sikh first, we got it in our DNA to fight for a cause, and if you don't know about Sikhs, we always do. As a British Sikh in society, these are affecting my friends who are gay, straight, anything, bisexual, even different races, everything. So I personally know how they feel, and it just gets me emotional because I know what the struggles they go through. I walk now, everything that's happening in London. Don't you guys drive back and you see the tower blocks and imagine the same thing happening there? Put yourselves in their shoes and see how you would feel. And we don't even know anyone there. I went past the block today in Hockley, and I was a bit emotional because I just stood there for 2 minutes thinking, imagine if I saw someone fall out that building and I couldn't do nothing about it. And now you've got the Conservatives who could do something about it, but yet they didn't do nothing. There's so many angles that I can come from, but I'll just say how it is. I might forget a few things, but just bear with me. The cuts to the NHS, the cuts to the education, the cuts to security, the cuts to everything. I mean, I might have forgotten a few some, so you can just fill in where I do forget. But surely those are three things we need to flourish as a community, no? Do you agree? Yes. Security, education, health. I mean, as a kid, and I'll speak to my mum and my dad about this. I had asthma as a kid, so I was rushed to the hospital all the time. I'm not just speaking for myself, everybody's probably gone through worse things. But at the end of that ordeal, I've been whacked with a, 20,000 pound bill. Is that the kind of society you want to live? No! Do you want to become like America where Trump is doing this? We don't want to become like Trump. No. We want to raise our voices, and I speak for the youth, but I just speak for myself. I don't represent anyone. I don't know how I got into this. He just invited me and I became an organizer, but hey ho, we should spend our time a bit better. For me, the arguments I've had, and people have fallen out on me, I haven't fallen out with anyone. It's not fear that's brought me here, it's love. And love is what either divides you, or, it shouldn't divide you actually, but it is dividing people in some people where the facts aren't straight. So people are arguing, oh, you're going to have less money. That's literally the argument I've been hearing every day. It's money, money, money. You're going to have less money, you're going to have this. And I was like, my argument was, you can afford not to buy that second BMW. You don't have to buy that 2017. You can give it elsewhere out. You go shopping, we buy £600 bags and everything else. We don't need that. So what we need to do is stand up for a cause, stand up for, stand up for something at the end of the day. I mean, I'm just doing my bit. For you guys, even for one person to be here for me was an accomplishment. So for you guys, I think you should give you a round of applause for coming down here, because it's what you guys are made. I'm just an ordinary guy who got pissed off for the last 2-3 weeks, and I want to speak out. I might get emotional, I might get a bit angry, but hey, that's me. I'm speaking from the heart, and I think everybody should do. And this community would be a better place. So, I mean, I'm going to forget what I'm saying now, but as I'm saying, as a British Sikh, I'm giving it from a Sikh point of view only because I'm Sikh. I'm not a practicing Sikh, but I do try to follow the ways as much as I can. And I'm sure everybody can relate to the Sikh community, and I don't represent the majority, but I represent most of the Sikhs there as well. And if we're talking about minority, how can you have a minority, such as me, who, do you reckon she has to worry about a budget for next week's? I don't know, for next week's budget for, shopping, for holiday? No, she doesn't have to worry about that. So how can she represent the majority? You tell me that. Since a kid, my mom knows it, my friends know me, I've always fought for a cause. All the time, even if it's not for me, if someone else is getting bullied, it's in my blood to help him out. Whether I'm not gonna name things all races, all cultures, everyone. I don't care what you are. You've got a good heart, you chat some sense, and you respect me and I respect your ways. And that's how it should be. And if I could sing and had a good voice, I would drop some lines now, but it's not going to happen. But yeah, we've got a leader. I mean, I don't have to go over, but you guys know what the DUP is all about. The difference between our generation and the older generation is we don't rely just on BBC. We don't just rely on Sky News. We don't just rely on, what other ones are there? I've forgotten all of ITV. Channel 4 is good though, they're okay. But at the end of the day, we've got YouTube. We actively talk to people. We've traveled. I'm sure you guys have traveled all places in Asia, around the world, Australia, here, poor countries as well. And so you can get a perspective on people's lives. They can't. I mean, you know, I'm going to control it now, but I saw the interview yesterday on Newsnight. Anybody watch that with Theresa May? It makes your blood boil because she can't, you know, I would have a little bit of respect if you just admit, you know what, I messed up, I've done wrong and I'm going to try to do it. But she can say to someone's face that, no, it's not my fault, we're going to do it. Just answer the goddamn question, please. Just a simple question. Just admit that you're wrong. Were you wrong? Yes. What are you going to do about it? This is what we're going to do about it. Not, oh, this is this and this, we're going to do this. No, it's about time we took a stand, because without us, they wouldn't have these fancy buildings. They wouldn't have anything else. I mean, I see I've had arguments where even with my line of work, where I've just had arguments and said, I don't want your business. I don't need your money. Because what is money at the end of the day? If you've got no love, you've got no compassion, you've got no integrity, you've got no soul, what is there to live? If you're going to speak up, if your children ask you, this is another point why I'm here, and I'm really bad at speeches, by the way, is my... Oh, what did I put? Integrity, yeah. So, I mean, you've got a person who's gone back on every word she says. As a person, imagine this was, I'm not going to say Theresa May, just a guy off the seat I'm talking to him, and he just went U-turn, everything. Would you class him as a leader? Would you follow him like me? What do you want to say, I'm with you? You wouldn't, would you? We've got one person who's in charge of the whole bloody country. In charge of everything. I mean, I've got so many gay mates, I've got this in line, I'm doing a wedding in about a couple of weeks and they're gay, and I'm just like, bruv, can I just sit down with you and talk about it? I don't want to talk about money, I just want to talk about how you feel. And that's what I encourage you guys to do as well. And I'm just going to end it with one poem which I wrote last week. So if you agree, please show some love. If you don't, we'll have a little discussion about it where I could go right, yeah? Okay. We live in a society where war, bloodshed, and tragedy is a common occurrence. But we have fought back with love, the truth, and resilience. Life is not all about money. We need to have compassion for all, for we are all equal, and no matter how big or small. I stand here today pouring my heart out to you because we all share the same vision. We don't want to live in a world where our politicians are creating divisions. We will make our voices heard, and a time has come. Just like you, liberation is my income.
Thank you so much, Benny.